Yo, what's up, everybody, and welcome to our little content video with some quick fire round questions. And we're going to do another overrated, underrated. We're going to combine them together,
Nice.
just with some like new kind of, some new things that we maybe think we could have a look at and have a chat about. And we thought we'd do a fun, quick fire round because we always enjoy them, just finding things out and a few little music questions. So I think we're going to get straight into it, and I'll let Roman start with his quick fire questions on the go. And
Wicked.
then,
Let's do it.
let's do
I've
it.
got my list ready to rock, so
Boom.
I'm coming at you, Jack. Here we go.
All right, hit me up.
What is your all-time favourite concert?
All-time favorite concert that I've been to or that I've not been to?
That you've been to?
Oh, that I've been to.
Difficult question.
I would probably say June 9th, 2012, Blink-182 at the O2 Arena. It's probably the best one I've been to.
Good answer. Love it. Moving on. What's your favourite song to play on the drums?
Oh, that's a good one. Favorite song to play?
I haven't been kind to him here.
Nah, that's not kind at all. That's quite hard, really. But all time I wouldn't be able to say because there's so many. But currently, I would probably have to go with. I'm into a bit of country at the moment, so I'll go with Old Dominion. Break Up With Him. That's a good.
Yeah,
it's a good song.
nice.
It's good. It's good little bit like laid back feel with some good feels in it. So yeah.
Good answer. Love it. Next one. If you could step into the shoes of any famous drummer and live their life, who would that drummer be?
See, that's really hard. You see, what, like their whole life or like the career they've had in music?
Like say their career. Keep it to their career.
Yeah.
Not necessarily now, like in their prime or peak of what they were doing.
Mate, if I was going to live in somebody's shoes and live their career in terms of what they've done music wise, it'd probably be Phil Collins.
Yeah,
that would be who I like. But that's why I was asking in terms of his life, because he's not like, he's like had a lot of divorce and like, sort of problems. Whereas like, I wouldn't want that to live his life like that. But like career, but musically, like definitely Phil Collins. Like that guy's done some like worked with some immense people, and yeah,
cool dude. Okay, big up Phil.
Big up Phil.
Moving on. Who'd you pick out of these, Tom DeLonge or Mark Hoppus?
Oh, I'm gonna go more with Tom because I think I'm more of a Tom person. Like I'm into more of what Tom's into than I think I am Mark. Although I rate Mark big time because he's a big Disney fan, and my family's a big Disney fan, so our family's it's quite cool. So, but I definitely say Tom because I'm into aliens and stuff.
Wicked. Who is your all-time? This is gonna be hard. Who is your all-time favorite band?
All-time favorite band?
Jeez,
man. I would. That's really hard because there's so many, but I would have to say. I would say Blink-182, but the only thing with that is like, I came a little bit into when they were like big, if that makes sense. Like listening to them, so like I wouldn't say that they are one of my all-time favorite bands, like that really high up that top. But more like for being like music in it at this age, I'd have to probably say Lower Than Atlantis.
Okay, yeah, because you were able to enjoy
I was able to enjoy the whole period that they like went from their first album to like their last ever.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Like last album and show, and I'd have to say one of my all-time favorites is them. Yeah,
cool. LTA, nice. What about your favorite genre of music?
It's quite hard because I like all styles of music, but I'd probably have to say like my favorite right now. My favorite style of music is like anywhere the cross between pop punk and like alt rock. So
Yeah.
like well yeah, more like the more like alt rock side. Like I love pop punk, but more like the alt. So like Architects, for example, like
Yeah.
bands like Architects, North Lane,
What's
bands that have
happening now
yeah, kind of, but like just
with the
bands that
metal
have
influence?
yeah, like it's got like a like a rock influence with the metal. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. What is your most played song this year?
My most played song.
Yeah.
My most played song I think is I think it's Car Lucio by Loyal Kana. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah.
Yeah, like
I'm not. I don't think I know that.
I'm a big Loyal Kana fan. Loyal Kana's like laid back, like hip hop, like sort of like spoken rap, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
You should check him out, and whoever's listening as well, you should definitely check out Loyal Kana. His album is wicked. Like he's got a couple good tracks. Yeah, I definitely have to say the Carluccio, and then there's another one called Otto Lengi, which is a pretty cool tune as well. But yeah, definitely give him a check out. He's wicked.
Cool. If you had to pick one sort of moment or memory from your music career so far
Mm.
as being the best, what would that be?
Um,
Like a session or a gig or
probably last February, when I stepped foot in Abbey Road Studios for the first ever time, and
yeah.
was fortunate enough to be able to record an EP in Studio 3 last February before like the pandemic hit and stuff like that. I would say for being a drummer and being someone that's always wanted to do, I'd say that's probably one of the biggest places I've ever wanted to record in, and having the opportunity now at this age, because I never thought I would now. I thought it'd be later on in life. And I know a lot of people have had the opportunity, so I'm not the only one at this age that's had the opportunity to record there. But for me, that was a special moment, walking down the corridors of where famous like film composers and music people have been. So yeah, and I was fortunate enough to be able to record in the same room that Foo Fighters recorded their second last studio album. So
Nice.
yeah, it was nice. It was nice, man. It was nice.
That makes sense. Cool. Okay. What about your favorite food? What's your favorite cuisine?
My favorite cuisine. I'd say one of my like takeaway or like just general food, like anything.
Yeah, just general. But yeah, kind
Um,
of like takeaway.
like
Pizza, Chinese,
one of my favorite dinners that like as soon as someone says they're like making it or like I want to have it, I could probably eat it is fajitas. I could probably eat
Oh yeah.
I could probably eat fajitas like most nights of the week because I bloody love it. Like I just love the idea of being able to like have a wrap and then just like shove chicken, peppers, like cheese, like sour cream, like everything in it, and just like munch down.
Sour cream.
So, mate, it's so good, man. Like I'd have to say,
Yeah, I agree.
fajitas is like my go-to meal. That if anyone ever says like, yeah, you know, eat that kind of thing, then definitely like I'd have to say fajitas. Takeaway, probably curry. I don't mind. I do like a good curry.
Cool. Okay, so Mexican and Indian.
Yeah.
Nice.
Mm.
All right, moving on. So, talking of drum beats,
Mhm.
what do you think is the best drum beat? And it could be a generic term like the shuffle, or it could be specific like when the levee breaks, for example, by Zeppelin. But yeah, just what's the best drum beat or your favorite, you could say.
It's good. It's so hard. That's such a hard question.
It is, and
Oh my god. Jeez.
I love the beat that Copeland does in Driven to Tears.
Yeah.
That like delayed hat thing he does. I love
Yeah.
that. It's a difficult question.
That's a difficult question because there's so many good beats out there.
That's cool. Pick a few if you can't narrow
because
it down.
because I can't pick a famous beat because loads of beats are like proper cool. Oh, actually, on that note, as I just said that, I just thought of a beat that I really enjoy, like grooving along to. And I don't even know if I can remember the bloody song now. It's oh my god. I can't remember it. So for now, I'm probably going to say the fact that I played probably one of my own grooves.
All right.
Which is on my EP with my band Tiffany Twisted. I played a song called "Sold My Soul" and it's in 6/8.
Yeah.
But when you listen to it a couple of times, you start getting the vibe that it's in 4/4 because it's got it has 6/8 in the verses and then 4/4 in the choruses, but like the 6/8 with the 4/4 sounds like the whole way through is just 4/4, like 4/4. So it's I don't know why I said 4/4, but 4/4. So like I had a lot of people say to me that like it was really cool making a 6/8 beat sound like 4/4. So I'd probably say my own because I can't remember that song that I really like. So when it comes to me, I'll shout it out.
Wicked. Nah, that's cool. That's cool. Moving on. So who do you pick out of A Day to Remember or Bring Me?
Oh man, killer.
Which one?
That's a killer. Oh, that's really hard, man. Oh, Jesus.
Because I kind of see like A Day to Remember as the American version of Bring Me in a way.
Yeah, I do. I think
way.
I'm gonna go with A Day to Remember because they were the first out of the two of them. They were the first one I saw live. I saw them at Reading Festival in 2014, I think, on the main stage. And I would say A Day to Remember on that one. But I love Bring Me because Bring Me was one of the bands that got me through my diploma and my first year of my degree.
Cool. Okay.
I used to listen to them like on the train 247, like on the way there and back. So, but I go with A Day to Remember.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, I'm gonna throw some brands at you now. I'm gonna pit the brands against each other.
I'm like, that's unfair because I'm like brand. I'm like a brand master, like clothing, anything like that. Like I could wear a whole outfit full of brands. Like it's easy.
Right, here we go. Who's better, Tama or DW?
Tama all the way. Represent the family. Do you know what I mean? You can't beat. There's some wicked drummers on DW though as well, but yeah, I've got most of my favorite drummers, bar Travis Barker, is on Tama.
Cool. Cool. Who's better, Meinl or Zildjian?
Again, I'm gonna have to go with my family that of the cymbals that I really enjoy. Like Zildjian are good and they've got some really nice cymbals, but yeah, definitely Meinl because I like the sort of difference in them. Like they're not generic; they're very like a particular taste. You gotta have a particular taste in them. And like, for example, my set of Meinl was behind me. They're like suited to me. I feel. Yeah.
Cool. Who's better, Nike or Adidas?
Oh man, I can't really. Oh, that's annoying. I'm gonna go with Nike only for the fact that I like Air Jordans and I used to own a pair of Air Jordans, but I've got my eyes set on a new pair of Air Jordans to get soon. But I'm currently wearing a pair of Adidas Continental 80s, which are nice. probably my favorite Adidas shoe. So, but definitely Nike for that one. Yeah.
Cool. Which franchise do you prefer, LA Lakers or Chicago Bulls?
Chicago Bulls. I've always been a Bulls fan.
Yes.
I've never not been a Bulls fan. Like I like a lot of other teams. Like I'm a big American sports, like all American sports fan, like, across the whole board. But yeah, I've never not been a Chicago Bulls fan. Ever since I was about 12, 13, I've supported the Bulls.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Lakers are good.
Same here. Love that. Yeah.
Lakers are good. Yeah.
Good answer. Right, two more.
Go
Got
on,
two more to go.
Hit me.
I've got the last one's a bit of a nasty one, but
Oh,
right,
no.
let's get into it.
Go on.
Or should I do that one now? Should I do that one now?
Do what you want to do. Do what you want to do.
I'll do it.
Want.
Let's do another brand one.
Go on.
Vans or Converse?
Vans all the way, man. Vans is my life. Literally,
Yeah.
I've literally had all my wardrobe is just Vans. Never not been. So
Love it.
Vans all the way for me.
Like all these plugs. I'm giving you the opportunity to plug it.
Hey, mate, Vans, if you're out there and you're watching this, let me know. I'm down to rep your gear on videos or anything.
Give Jack some hoodies, please.
Yeah, or some shoes. Even like I love the old classics with the white line. That's my vibe. So yeah,
Hook him up.
It's the same with Tamara and Minor as well. And Nike. If you want to hit me up, yeah.
Just Air Jordan 1s, please.
Mate, Chicago ones off white. Hit me any day. Don't mind.
Oh, right. Last one. We're concluding the list.
Go on.
Two drummers. I'm going to pit them against each other. Put them to you.
It's always the worst one. Go on.
Who'd you pick? You got to pick one.
Oh, okay.
Ash Stone or Steve Jordan?
No disrespect to Steve Jordan because he is like a wicked drummer, but for me it's got to be Ash Stone. Only reason being is because he's like in the session world. For me, as being wanting to be a session player, he is my like idol. He's like go-to person. He's like got one of the biggest resumes in the industry, and I've been fortunate enough to meet him once or twice, and also 1 year he sent me some sticks, a signed drum head for my birthday to my house, which is pretty sick. So yeah, I'd say Ash Stone because I've always looked up to him. Even when I was studying at uni, I would just always mention him and be like, oh, but how does he do this? How does he do that? So yeah, I'd say Ash Stone. But I love Steve Jordan, especially playing with John Mayer. He's tight as hell. But yeah.
Wicked. Nice answers. Well, that's my list.
Oh,
quick
fire round. Right, I've got my quick fire here now, so I'm going to hit you. I'm going to go straight in with it, all right?
Yeah, I'm going to try and ramp the speed up this time.
Right,
I'm bad at this.
Okay, right. I am too, but because I like explaining why. But it's just like, right, who is your all-time favorite artist?
Blink-182.
Who is your current favorite artist?
The Weeknd.
Okay. What is your all-time fave song?
Come As You Are by Nirvana.
Nice. What is your favorite genre of music?
Alternative.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, no, I get it. Name one artist or band you've never seen live but would really love to.
Bruce Springsteen.
Oh, okay. That's nice. What is the last band t-shirt you bought?
It was Nirvana, I believe. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Have you ever been part of a mosh pit or a circle pit?
Yes, several times.
Yeah. Who is your favorite male fronted band?
I've already said Blink, so I'm going to say Kings of Leon.
Nice. Who is your favorite female fronted band?
Probably Blondie.
That's good chat. Yeah, I like that. I didn't know if not many people say that, but yeah, that's good. I like that. From 1 to 10, if you were asked to sing, what would you rate your ability of doing it out of?
3.5.
Okay. Cool.
That was 10 being the best. Yeah?
10 being like you're not a singer, but you're a good singer.
Oh right, yeah.
But
3.
10 being basically like you're a really good singer, but like no one knows that you are, and one being like you're shit and you've never sung in your life.
Fair.
Yeah, that's
I'm
basically
I'm the kind of singer that can get away with a little bit of BVs in a rock
Yeah.
band, but that's
Okay.
about it.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Best gig you have ever played?
Well, that's a good question. I don't know. It's hard to pick one because they all. I don't know. It is. It really is.
Well, you put hard ones on me, so
Yeah, I was doing well up until then.
yeah.
I was going quite quick.
Yeah.
Don't know, Jack. Because I had a few different ones for different reasons.
Okay. What's like
Like-
what's one that pops straight to your head?
Like
When-
most recent, because it's like most recent when me and you played London.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I can't remember where it was in London. Can't even remember the venue.
The 229 in Great Portland Street.
Yeah, was it that? Was
Yeah.
it the 2-2?
Yeah.
Like that, for example, wasn't a big gig, but it all like musically it came together and everyone in the room was into it and it was just such a good vibe.
Yeah.
It was very hot. I was
Oh, yeah.
sweating buckets, but
Yeah.
yeah, the vibe was good because I've played some other sort of bigger gigs, but when there's people not getting into it, it doesn't really
Yeah. Make it the best
come
gig.
across, make it the best experience.
Yeah.
So that was good, but I can't. Yeah,
That's fair enough.
Some-
I'll take
some of
that.
some of the BIM gigs were great. They were quite big
Yeah,
in
yeah,
Brighton and that. But
Yeah.
yeah, I'm gonna go with that. I really enjoyed that gig
Sweet.
because I was on stage with like mates.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
yeah,
it was
you
like,
and-
as good fun, other than
Yeah.
it being a good gig. Yeah. Sweet. An instrument you wish you had learned,
Oh, good question.
other than obviously playing bass,
yeah,
because obviously everyone knows that.
Piano.
Yes.
I'm starting to learn piano and synth bass. So,
No.
but I wish I'd done that way back.
Yeah. That's fair enough. What's your favorite music venue in the world?
Probably have to pick the O2 Arena.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. Most embarrassing thing you have ever done whilst on stage?
My lead came out multiple times, and you were there. Yeah,
I didn't know if you was gonna say like something different, but yeah, I remember that. That's quite.
I've probably done other stuff, but yeah, that pops into my mind. Basically, they didn't have an amp, so I was given a DI, which I plugged into.
Yeah.
But there was nothing. Normally, you would put your lead round like a handle, so it can't pull out.
Yeah.
But it kept coming out, so I had to keep plugging it in.
Right. Last one of my quick fire. If you could be in any band, what band would you be in?
Ooh, that is a good question. Oh, I've been asked this before. I'd probably say I'm going to give you two. I'd probably say like Blink because being in a pop punk band, it's just so fun to perform.
Yeah.
You don't have to take it too seriously. You can jump about and have fun.
Gotcha.
And obviously, I love Blink and all that music, but also I think it would be awesome to be in a band like Bring Me the Horizon.
Yeah, man, definitely.
Because it's just so musically involved and the drops, and it just brings me a lot of joy, that sort of metal stuff.
Yeah, I get you.
So,
yeah,
the heavy stuff.
Sweet. Well, that's the end of my quick fire ones. Yeah, that's the end of mine.
Good questions. Enjoyed that.
But right, let's go on to the over and under because I think we're eager to get onto those. See what we got on our list.
Yeah, let's do it. We're gonna do some overrated and underrated. This is the second time we're doing it, and we're gonna pick some to each other.
I'll let you go first again because you went first again. So yeah, I'll let you go again. Go around.
That's cool.
So yeah.
Okay.
Let me know.
I jump in. Let's go.
Go.
Adele.
Underrated. Don't have a reason. Just saying underrated.
Okay, Adele's underrated, according to Jack.
Yeah.
Moving on, number 2. What about Taylor Swift?
Overrated, big time. I don't like her. Sorry if there's any Taylor Swift fans, but yeah, nah, overrated. I don't like her.
Overrated. Yeah, I would.
If she sees
probably
this,
have,
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I would have to agree with it. I think she seems okay.
She's
had some catchy songs.
She's all right. I just like, yeah, she's got catchy songs. So don't get me wrong. Like they're cool. She's got cool songs to play and stuff. Like it's cool like that. But I think she's too overrated in terms of like her stardom and being who she is. I think that's too overrated. So yeah, overrated.
Yeah, agreed. Okay. What about John Bonham?
I'm probably gonna right. Let me just explain it. I'm probably gonna get shot in the leg or like shot in the head for this because like by like most drummers that if any other drummers listen to this and blah blah blah. I like Bonham. I like him a lot, and he's had a massive influence on the drum world and drum community and a lot of drummers. But I never really listened much to a lot of what Bonham did. I knew of the stuff and I have heard it, but I wouldn't say I was like really glued to it in terms of like influencing me. So I would on this matter, I would say underrated only in the matter that I didn't know him that well enough to be like, oh, nah, he's too overrated. That means because I've not really like analyzed / looked into like detail of what his playing's like. And like, I know a lot of drummers like go, oh, I love Bonham, love Bonham, love Bonham. And in that way, I suppose it's overrated because, but that's just because I don't know. So I would say that they're just being like that because that's what they like. And I've got different preferences, but overall, I'd say underrated because
Cool.
Hand on heart, I've not really listened to it much. Yeah.
Okay. My number 4 for you is Stuart Copeland.
I would say again another underrated drummer, and this time round probably because I do know him and I'm a big Sting fan, and obviously a big Police fan as well, and obviously the drumming technicality and the sort of the production behind the drums on all the tracks by the Police especially was really like very
ahead of itself.
Yeah, ahead of the game, basically, ahead of the technology, I think. Well, not technology, ahead of like the kind of like the sounds that everyday people were going for in that kind of time. But definitely was like, yeah, wicked influence. Like he's definitely on my list of influences. I wouldn't say he's like right at the top, but I definitely say he's on there.
Yeah, cool.
So underrated because like you don't hear much about him. Well, you do, but you don't hear much about him like compared to other drummers, you know.
Yeah, he's not the cool one.
Well, he's not like your Bonhams or your like,
Keith Moon.
Yeah, your Keith Moons or your Ginger Bakers or people like that, all those kind of people like, or your Taylor Hawkins and stuff like that. He's not like mentioned a lot like those people are. But he's big, you know what I mean? He like when as soon as people say Stuart Copeland, drummer for the Police, they go, oh yeah, wicked. Do you know what I mean? But like if you just said, oh, do you know Stuart Copeland to like somebody general, they'd go, who's Stuart Copeland? Do you know what I mean? Because unless you're a Police fan or you know who he is, it's like, yeah, I would say so. I'd say underrated because he deserves a bit more recognition for his craft.
Nice. What about Chad Smith?
I'm a massive Chad Smith fan. Always have been. I think he's funny as a person. I think I would have to say underrated because again, he is popular and he is a lot of people's influences, but he's another name again that doesn't pop up a lot on people's radar of like inspiration. They're just he's one of these drummers that people go, oh yeah, Chad Smith, wicked drummer, like really like Chili Peppers, like proper plays funky, like rock, sick, you know what I mean? But you never get like oh mate, I absolutely love that guy, like he's like my idol, like like oh mate, I wish I could be like him. I don't really hear many people say that about him. So I'd say he's underrated because, again, he's a drummer in this industry that deserves a hefty amount of recognition for what he's produced. So yeah.
Yeah, that's fair. Cool. Moving on. What about Larry Mullen Jr. from U2?
Larry Mullen, I've always been a huge fan of. Huge fan of. Again, he's on my list of like top favorite drummers because of his technicality, which to most people and most drummers might be like, oh, but he's really basic and simple. But it's like, it's effective, and it like really makes a song with the way he puts drums into it, especially With or Without You. The drum in that, like the doom doom ga doom 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 ga doom 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 ga doom doom ga, like it's just
So fitting.
yeah, it's just so fitting to that song, and I love that little open hi hat, like with the tambourine on the end. It's really cool.
Yeah, great.
Yeah, technical. Yeah, I'd say he's underrated for me because again, he's one of these guys that's not mentioned enough. So yeah,
Love it. Awesome. Right. What about the band White Stripes?
I know them. I've heard their stuff. I wouldn't say I'm a massive fan. So I would probably go with underrated because I don't know anything hugely big amounts about them. So because I've not heard as much compared to other bands about them, I would probably have to say underrated, because I've heard their songs and they've got some wicked songs.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'd say underrated. Underrated.
Cool. Nice one. What about Phil Rudd of Acdc?
Again, I can't really say these people are overrated because they're unique to their style and their band, and they've created they've not only created an image, but they've also created like a style. They're a particular like you can say that like same person and go, wow, yeah, like he's done this, he's done this, he's done this, and like yeah, he's created some bangers, isn't it? So yeah, and he's in one of one of the coolest rock/grooving bands that I know still to this day. Like AC/DC. If you just want a band that plays that classic 2/4 right in the pocket, just like like I mean, just you just can't beat it like that. Back in Black, man, it's just right on the boat, right on the money. That
100. So properly rated, would you say?
Yeah. Oh yeah, I totally forgot about properly rated from the last time. So yeah, every other one that I've said like underrated because I'm like I'd say pop. Yeah, I'd say the middle one. So probably, but yeah, properly rated for him, definitely. Yeah.
Okay, cool. How about Tommy Lee?
What, from Motley Crue?
Yes.
Yeah, I love that guy, man. That guy's like, if Tommy ever sees this, like, or he ever sees me drum, like, I think I'd actually like, I don't know, I think I'd cry because he's like, again, I'd say he's underrated though because he's one of these drummers that's like he's known for being in Motley Crue, but he's not really on many people's radars as like a really good as like a drummer of like he's an inspiration, But he's definitely up there in my I'd at least say my top 10 drummers on the whole world, which is a big thing to say because he's a drummer that's not many people. You have to really like Motley Crue, I suppose, to like Tommy Lee's style of playing. But yeah, I think he's like the way he just like smashes the kit and just he just looks the wicked as he does it as well. Like
he's good persona, isn't he?
Yeah, and his personality is just radical, man. It's just like one of these people that just doesn't give two blinding fucks. Like the guy, like for God's sake, if you don't know who Tommy Lee is, go on YouTube and type in Tommy Lee drum solo while necking a bottle of Jack Daniels, and he's literally just got a bottle of JD, full bottle on one hand, and he's going like that, and he's just like down in this whole bottle of JD straight, and I'm just like, that guy's got balls. I like it. Like so, yeah, he's good for me. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. What about another drummer? Played it with or in Chic, and also known for playing on records such as Madonna tracks. Tony Thompson.
again, I would say I'm gonna go with properly rated. Only the fact that like I wouldn't say it's overrated because not many people would like know who he is unless you're really into like knowing that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I would definitely say properly rated because he is like he's I wouldn't say he's either in the middle or more underrated. He's not overrated because he's got a uniqueness to his skill. So yeah, I'd say properly rated, just in the middle.
Cool. Okay, moving on. How about Mick Fleetwood?
Mickey Fleetwood, as a legend, man. He's a legend. Like he's created some wicked songs, you know, obviously drums for wicked tunes with like Fleetwood Mac and stuff. Yeah, I'd say I'll go middle again, properly rated.
Okay,
Because like, but then again, same thing, not overrated, just in the middle or underrated for different reasons.
cool.
Yeah.
What about the drummer, Alex Van Halen
Um.
of Van Halen?
Yeah. Eddie Van Halen. Alex Van Halen. I would say properly rated.
Yeah.
I don't really. I wouldn't say he's overrated, but I wouldn't say I know lots about him to explain why. So I'd say in the middle, properly rated.
Cool. Okay, makes sense.
Maybe overrated because his brother was Eddie.
I personally think he's like massively talented and
His
not
brother
talked
is
about
Eddie,
enough.
isn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah,
was gonna say because like I've done that once before where like you have the same surname, but you're not actually like related. It's like you're not brothers. Like you're just like you might be family members or you might just have uniquely the same last name.
yeah.
But yeah,
No, I'm 95% sure.
I would say
Yeah.
he's overrated only because of the fact his brother is Eddie Van Halen. And my opinion is Eddie Van Halen's a wicked guitarist, but a bit overrated for me.
Okay, cool.
But he's sick though. He's sick at what he's done.
Yeah. What about the band Chic?
I'll go in the middle. I'll go in the middle with properly rated, or properly rated. I'd say they're overrated now as a band because they become so popular again. From being that kind of like, you know, I suppose, is it more 70s, 80s more like
Yeah,
kind
sort of
of
late
band?
70s,
Yeah,
early
late
80s.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come that kind of band that everyone knows, but now it's like that. They're like this kind of band that, you know, I suppose they were a band that not many people would be interested in and know, but we've seen them so much over the last couple of years and their kind of return to the stage kind of thing that like
Yeah.
a lot more people have become fans of them. So I'd say they're like, and like enjoying them. So I'd say they're kind of overrated in that way, but I'd go in the middle with properly rated because I don't think they're that as a
You
band.
would
Go on.
you wouldn't say because of like in this moment now how popular they are at festivals and touring and what have you. You wouldn't say that makes them underrated because they've been out like
Yeah,
I think
I would say they're like in that sense, like being a band from like that kind of time and now in this modern day. I'd say they're more along the kind of
no, there's kids that like their stuff. Do you know what I mean? Now it's
yeah.
pretty impressive.
But then those kids that like them are like liking them because they they've heard them and they've gone, oh, everyone's dancing and all my parents like them, so I like them too. Like until they actually like understand the band and I actually like, wow, that's chic, you know, it's got blah 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 in it, then they'll find out whether they're actually a fan of the music or not when they grow up. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'd say they're in the middle. That's probably what I'd say.
cool, fair. All right, so we're basically at the end of the list. I've got one more.
Go on.
I'm gonna end the same as last. What about Ash Stone? He's widely respected.
He's widely respected. He's very talented. He knows what he's talking about. I'd say the middle again, but
Yeah.
more middle / underrated because not everyone's going to be a fan of him. But I wouldn't say he's overrated. I think a lot of people think he is. Like a lot of people feel
Yes.
like it. A lot of people feel like he comes across as a bit like cocky, a bit cocksure of himself because he's done so much and like is who he is. But I don't believe he is. I believe he's like I've met him once. He was a really nice guy, really nice to chat to. But yeah, he's one of my idols. But yeah, I don't know him that well to say, but I wouldn't say he's overrated. I'd say he's in the middle / underrated.
Cool. Good answer. Well, that's my list.
Oh, okay. Let's go on to my list. I don't think I have as many as you, but well, I'll still do them anyway because I think they're good.
That's cool. Yeah, let's have a go.
I think they're good. Okay. Let's crack on. The first one is Architect's new song, Dead Butterflies.
Dead, but have I heard this?
I think you have.
That's
I think
when
either me or Josh played it over the speakers when we was
the one you were playing. So it's
Yeah.
not come out last few days. It's been out a few weeks.
No, it's
Yeah.
been out like a week or something. It's like it's
Yeah.
more modern, yeah.
I know the one. I
Yeah.
know the one. I think I said it in another episode. I'm going to go underrated for this track because I think as a band, I think they're underrated. I think they're yet to be acknowledged
A bit for me, isn't it?
for what they are. They're a lot better than their fan base says they are. they're gonna get bigger.
Yeah. Okay. That's cool. Wembley Arena as a place to play.
I'll probably say properly rated
Okay.
for that. Yeah, I think it's a legendary venue and a good venue. I don't think it's the best, as I understand. I've never played it, of course, but
Yeah.
it's quite long, isn't it?
Yeah.
They're tending modern venues. They tend to want people to be above, don't they? So it's more
Yeah.
in. But yeah, it's properly rated. It's a cracking venue.
Yeah. All right. Cool. Don Broco as a band.
Ooh, I really like Don Brocco or Broco. I think they're underrated.
Fair enough.
I think they're doing well, but again, I think they should be doing better and getting more recognition because they're really good musicians. Like they're such sick musicians. They write wicked songs.
Yeah.
And their live shows are like unbelievable. So
Yeah, they do put on a good live show, that's for sure.
underrated, I reckon.
All right. Okay, this one's a good one for you. I probably know your answer, but I'll do it anyway. This is between two. Live or studio work. So live or studio session work.
How do you want me to rate it? Like,
well, overrated or underrated. It's like live, overrated or underrated, or
oh, it's two separate. Yeah, of course.
well, yeah, if you want to, yeah. Like, do you think live's playing like? Do you think wanting to play live is overrated or underrated, or I don't know, something like that?
I think the whole live thing is underrated. I think there's nothing better, like as a musician and just for as a person, like if you can experience it because it's such a great thing, like doing your thing and people enjoying what you're doing.
I got
so that's always playing live is always going to be underrated for me. Like,
okay,
yeah, you could say properly rated, I suppose, but probably underrated.
Okay.
And again with studio work, like I personally slightly prefer live work, but I'd still say studio work's underrated.
Okay.
Because it's such an amazing process to see your creation come to fruition. Yeah.
Cool. All right. Sweet. Guns N' Roses as a band.
Good one. Not a massive fan, but I respect them. I'd probably say I'd probably say properly rated, but I would be leaning towards overrated with Guns N' Roses.
Okay, fair enough.
Because they're kind of what they've achieved makes sense because I think they're good.
Yeah.
But people, particularly non-musicians, hold Guns N' Roses in like legendary status.
Yeah.
And they, I don't know. I think they, in certain situations, they could be seen as being a bit overrated from my point of view.
I got you.
Yeah,
fair enough. Tom Morello, the guitarist from Rage Against the Machine.
That's a good question. I think he's got to be underrated.
Yeah, I'd say so. That would be my answer.
Yeah, like obviously Rage, like he's a huge part of what their sound is, and Rage as a band are super unique. So I think by default that makes Tom like underrated, and he's also like he's just such a unique player. There's nobody like him. So
he's got his own. He's created his own sound, and he's created his own like persona on behind that instrument. So it's like as soon as you hear like that sound, you go, that's Tom Morello. Do you know what I mean? Because you know
exactly. So that's got to count for something.
Yeah.
And he was in. Didn't he start Audio Slave as well? Was it Tom Morello? He's done so much of his career already. So yeah, underrated Tom Morello.
Sweet. All right. Instagram as a platform.
I think it's massively underrated.
Okay.
I think out of all of them, although TikTok's probably slightly winning it at the moment and probably will now.
Yeah, well, that's because it's the new thing, isn't it?
Yeah. I do think, because I know a lot of people that don't like Instagram, but I just think because it's visual, I don't think you can beat it because it's visual. It's like...
I suppose it's the same as YouTube, isn't it? Like YouTube's visual too, so I suppose it's the same.
Exactly. Instagram's like the like smaller version of YouTube, isn't it?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
And I just think it will always win, and I think everyone should use it, particularly people in the music industry.
All right. Okay.
Underrated.
Sweet.
IG.
Eminem as a rapper.
Oh, for God's sake.
You do kind of look like him now out of 8 Mile.
Do I?
Yeah, you look like Eminem when he's in 8 Mile.
Do you want me to do a bit of rapping?
Go on, sing a song.
I can't rap.
Sweaty. Arms are heavy.
Yeah, that's it.
Farming on the sweater. More spaghetti.
Mine while you sing. I think he's overrated.
Haley, I know you miss your mom, and I know you miss your dad, and I'm gone. It's good though. I think I do agree in a way that he is a bit overrated. Like especially nowadays, he's done his like comeback. But I think like he also is underrated because he's actually like a master of the craft that he's created for himself and the image.
Yeah, I mean, let me break it down because I feel a little bit unfair, but like I think his talent as a rapper, I think he's underrated because he like his flow and how quick he can rap is pretty impressive.
Yeah,
and he kind of was a pioneer of that way of rapping in a way,
like freestyle, just like completely just coming in with something.
Yeah, like Tupac and Biggie, it's like a little bit, well, not so much Tupac, but it's a bit more chilled, and but Eminem's generally very quick, and that is impressive. But I do think I personally just don't know how he gets so much legendary status, because I just think, you know, he had Dre behind him creating a lot of the songs.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. It's hard. I feel bad because I don't really want to put someone at overrated, but I'm not a fan, so I'm definitely not going to say underrated.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Sorry, everyone, because I know there's loads of Eminem fans.
Right. The Beatles.
Properly rated.
Yeah. Fair enough.
I think like what they did at the time was like totally unique. I think there's some like John and Paul in particular, and George, you could say,
Yeah.
some of the best songwriters we've seen still to this day. So yeah, and I think most people know how good they were.
Yeah.
So properly rated, I think.
All right, sweet. That sounds good to me. What we're going? Oh, that's similar to what you said earlier, but we'll go with it anyway. Do you think Chic is overrated or underrated?
See, I think different to you. I do think they're underrated as a band because I just think, like, out of the disco sort of funk sound,
yeah.
they're probably the biggest in commercial.
Probably, yeah.
In a commercial sense, which I think is impressive because it wasn't really intended to be commercial, especially not today. And they're still, they're still doing well.
Yeah.
And when you break it down to like the players, like Niall, Tony, the drummer,
John Barnes.
they're yeah, exactly. They're all just like amazing in their own right. So yeah, I think, yeah, but then you could say that a lot of people know how good they are.
Yeah,
So,
I think they do, but
my point is, I think it gets overlooked a little bit, like how relevant they still are and how much people still enjoy their songs today.
Yeah.
Which is quite impressive. A bit like a band like Queen, it just remains.
Yeah, you can't be a good bit of Queen, can you?
Yeah, you comes on the radio now. It doesn't matter what age you are, you're probably going to be singing along. So
True that.
I think that's underrated.
All right. I got 3 more for you.
Nice.
So, reggae as a genre on a whole, like reggae in itself, do you think it's overrated or underrated?
That's a good question. Reggae.
And that doesn't mean just reggae. That means it could mean any like jungle style reggae, or
Any of the subcategories off of that.
dub reggae or ska, or anything.
Yeah, I'm probably going to go underrated for reggae because of like some of the artists and players that we've had come out of that scene. Like Sly and Robbie from Bob Marley's band, like amazing rhythm section. But yeah, it's kind of like when you think about reggae, like how happy it makes you when you listen to it, and how chilled it makes you, and especially in the summer.
Oh yeah,
it's just a great music to listen to. So,
and if you go to a festival and you hear like reggae music or like a reggae band playing, it always makes you want to like dance, like boogie and stuff, don't you?
Exactly, at a party. And it's the same like the Police, when they took reggae influence, it made it dancey and people wanted to move.
Exactly.
And I think, we just did a groove sessions with a Chronics track, didn't we?
Yeah, Chronics is like the modern era, like version of like, I feel like Chronics to me is like the modernized vocal, but like more modern version of Bob Marley.
Yeah, like commercial sort of.
Yeah, like commercial, but like in the style of like he's kind of like, the really strong sort of, Jamaican kind of accent.
Yeah.
And they really kind of like the detail to like the music and the song behind it. Yeah, I think so. I think
Just to cap that off, I think there should be more reggae influenced songs in the charts. I'm surprised more people don't write.
Yeah, I would love to write one.
Songs with that in mind. It's like, do you remember when Bruno Mars came out with Locked Out of Heaven, which kind of sounded like a Police track? It had that sort of, you could hear the reggae in it. It was, it was like funk meets reggae meets pop. It was mad, but it just, and even the vocal was quite reggae like. But it was a great song, and I just think we should see more of that. And what I'm trying to say is, I think reggae is underrated for that reason.
Good. I agree. I think that's true. Cool. What's your thoughts on Lewis Capaldi?
He's a funny guy.
Yeah,
I know that much.
He's very funny.
I think I think there's a tremendous amount of value in his vocal tone.
Yeah.
I think his voice is incredible.
Yeah, I think so.
I think as an artist and a persona, I think he's very average. And it's not me being horrible, but and I think he knows that anyway. I think he's kind of he's the voice, isn't he? He's got such a great voice, but he's not I don't think he's not going to be a Madonna, you know, like or a Michael Jackson. But
of course, yeah.
in terms my thoughts on him, like I say, I'd think he's got a great voice. I would say he's properly rated if I had to rate it. I don't know about you. How would you rate Lewis?
Yeah, I'd say properly rated because I don't think he's too overrated yet. Do you know what I mean? I think he's just got like he got big quite quickly. So I think people could think that as being overrated, like, oh, he got big quite quickly and now he's like everywhere. Do you know what I mean? Like, everyone thinks he's that. But I don't think so. I think he's like that's come with the fact that he's got a talent and he's good at what he does. And also like his persona as well is, you know, the personality he brings with it is quite good, you know. And I've seen him live he puts
Have you really?
Yeah, I saw him at Wembley Arena play live.
Good voice.
Mate, wicked, man. Play his live like band was wicked, proper live set. Like it was really good, man. It's like proper put on a really nice show, like, you know. And it was funny because it was kind of like it's something different. It was like a really good music concert, really good like performance, everything like, but also like a comedy show at the same time. Like because of like how funny his interactions was with like his band and like the audience, and it was quite funny, and it was quite good evening. You know what I mean? If you ever get a chance, anyone ever gets a chance to see Capaldi in concert, I'd definitely go and do it because it's good, proper good.
Yeah, and I just on that, I wouldn't want to undervalue his persona because he is, although he's not the conventional like rock star, he actually brings something quite unique and like,
oh yeah, of course.
What we're seeing a lot more of now is like people that aren't rock stars, but they're, you know, like he's funny, he's stupid, but people like it. So that, you know, that could be seen as being underrated because people just, you know, especially on TikTok, places like that, people just want to have a laugh, and he's the man for it.
Oh, it's funny. It's funny,
and he's got the voice. So, but probably properly rated. I wouldn't want to underrate him because I think people know, you know, look, you've only got to look at his success to know.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Think of him. So it's a good album he wrote though.
Oh yeah, proper good. All right, last one. I'm gonna go off on a bit of a limb here. It's got nothing to do with music, but it's just because I kind of I wanted to see like what you thought. But what are your thoughts on the? This is to do with films, by the way. So what's your thoughts on the Star Wars franchise as a whole?
I knew you were going to say that. I think it as a franchise, it's massively underrated. It's, and what I mean by this is like the branding that comes along with it, and the characters and the merchandise, the things you can collect. It's just the music, like it's just huge, isn't it? And it's like, and you could say properly rated because obviously a lot of people like Star Wars. I'm not a personal fan, but I still believe it.
I am.
Yeah, you're a massive fan.
Massive.
No, but I still appreciate the like what it's done for people's lives and the people that collect the stuff and watch the films. And
it's like music, isn't it? It's like people that like music, like people like music, obviously, but people like us, we're like really into our music, so we know like the ins and outs. Whereas like there's people out there that like, you know, and we could say that there's music out there that's really like helped us through times of like, you know, annoying struggles and stuff like that. But like there's people out there that like watching Star Wars as a whole, like the films and like having the merch, and like you say, it's like got them through stuff, and like it's given them a sort of a personality. It's brought them out there, that kind of whole like kind of high.
Absolutely.
A lot of people associate like the Star Wars fans being like nerdy because obviously it's like you know, sci-fi. It's like, you know, obviously it's not real, like it's sci-fi, and people think it's like, you know, but it's what is brought the happiness and the kind of the coolness and the it's like Harry Potter, for example. If you're a Harry Potter fan, it's like none of that's real, but how they've made those films and how they've created that illusion and the realness of that magic, it's like Jesus. It's like, wow. Because you imagine actually being a kid that grown up and actually going to Hogwarts, like, you know what I mean? For me, it's like I wish I was a youngling that like grew up and was like made into a Jedi master. Do you know what I mean? It's like that's just how I see. That's how I see it. You know what I mean? Like for me, it's like it's not just a franchise. It's not just a thing. And everyone has a different opinion on it. But I think it's a bigger thing than what people think it is.
Yeah, and exactly like why I've underrated it is because the whole thing over the 40, 50 years it's been out, whatever, it's created this world that people can escape into.
Yeah,
much like a
community, isn't it? It's like a community.
Yeah, like if you were a big fan of like Phil Collins, for example, you're so invested in that person.
Yeah,
and it's
then
the
you
same
know
with Star
everything
Wars.
about him. Do you know what I mean? And it's like
It's the same with Star Wars
about it.
Yeah, I love Harry Potter. Like it's the same. It's because it has the stuff you can collect, and it's just so well thought out. It's amazing. And I love Harrison Ford, by the way. So I like the fact that
well, he's
the Star Wars films.
You know, Mr. Han Solo. You know, can't be you know. But yeah,
so underrated, Jack. What about you?
What for Star Wars? Yeah, I'd say underrated because I think, like, again, a lot of people overrate it because obviously they think it's a massive franchise and this and that. But I think, like, again, everyone's got a particular taste. But I think, like, for me, like, I'm a massive Star Wars fan. Like, you know, I was 18 and I went on a family holiday to Disneyland, Paris.
Yeah.
And I was 18, only a couple of weeks before that. And, you know, I got all my gifts. I got everything like that. I didn't, I was quite happy with everything I got. I was really enjoy. And we was going around the shops in the like outside the park one day, like all the shops. And I just lost everyone. I couldn't find my mum. I couldn't find my dad. Like my sister, I think, don't know where she went. She went somewhere else. And then suddenly they just appeared and they're standing in front of me, and they're standing in front of me with a bag. Yeah. And I was like, where have you been, kind of thing. And she was like, oh, we were getting you like a kind of a gift, like a late birthday present that we wanted to get you, but we thought we'd wait. And I was like, oh, okay. So I opened the bag and it was a lightsaber. It was a proper lightsaber, like proper Yoda green lightsaber.
Nice.
And like, being the big fan I was and being such a big kid and like all that sort of stuff, I was just a massive kid. I was just like walking around, like swinging it around, like doing all the like shit that they're doing, their thing. But like I collect a load of Star Wars stuff, like as well. So I understand like that it's a big thing, you know. It's like, you know, some of the stuff I would love, but I can't get it because it's so bloody expensive. You know, it's a big thing. It's like a proper thing. It's like me. I invest my money in my drums. I buy new gear. I buy new things. I do things that are going to help me make it sound good. Those kind of things, you know. That's the same for a Star Wars fan. You know, they buy the brand new lightsaber on the scene. That's like the best thing. They buy like the brand new figurine of like Kylo Ren or something, one of the like Darth Vader or someone like that from Star Wars franchise. It's the same thing, you know. So everyone has a kind of thing. So, but I'd say it's definitely underrated because a lot of people just look at it and go, boring. Do you know what I mean? Like, I don't, but that's because you've never watched it. I think most people that say, oh, it's boring, you've never watched it. Like, you know, I've introduced people to Star Wars that would never understood the story, never watched the franchise. I made them sit with me and watch every single film, like a movie marathon from like in the real order as well, because obviously it's in a reverse order. I don't know if you know. It's all kind of it's like a reverse order. So I made them watch it in the right order, so the story flows, so you understand it. Because like you know, I'm blabbering on here, but obviously it started like in a different kind of like before the end, if that makes sense. So it kind of started in the middle, worked back to the start, and then went back to the end. That's how they brought it out. And it was a bit like when it first came out, people were like, what the hell's going on? Like I think they've like fucked up the order in which it goes in. Like I think they've released the wrong ones. But like that was their intention. Their intention was to reveal big, strong plot lines in the story and branch out on different storylines from it.
And take it back. And
yeah, but now it's been such a, they've made so many of them that you can watch them in the order they actually should be in. And you understand the story straight away because you just follow it. And then obviously you've got all the off films as well, And then obviously, I don't know if anyone listening or watching has seen Mandalorian, the new.
I was gonna say how was the Mandalorian?
Oh, mate! If you're a big Star Wars fan, it is like, woo! This is the shit. Like it's like people who are like big fans of like, I don't know, Stranger Things or like Walking Dead. They watch it and they go, "Oh man, it's so sick!" Like the characters, all this kind of thing. But like Mandalorian, because I know it, I'm like, "Oh, I love the Mandalorian." Like I understand where it's come from, that kind of side of the story, where it's developed from. I kind of understand all that side. But first, if you've not watched Star Wars, you don't have to. Like, it doesn't mean you can't watch Mandalorian because it's like a separate thing. It's based on characters, like, and you'll probably get introduced to characters that are in the films, which you probably would then go and watch the film so you understand who they are. But the storyline's different. The storyline is based on something like before Star Wars, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
So
I'll
it's like, well, actually, I think some of it's like happened before Star Wars, some of it's like during. Like it's like happening when you watch the films, you see the story, but the Mandalorian is like set in a like part of the timeline where it's happening elsewhere in time, along to what you see, but like they kind of show you a different side of the story of it. Well, if you haven't watched it, I do highly recommend it. It is a good watch.
I need to watch it. I'm gonna watch
it. I think it's good. I think
on your recommendation.
Yeah, I think that there are some really good recommendations of things to watch. But cool. I'm blabbering on now. So,
as I understand, that's the end of your list, isn't it?
Yeah, that was my last one because I thought I would like switch it from music to something cool.
I was just thinking before we wrap this up. It's been a good episode.
Go on.
Let's segue. You just brought a film one up. I'm gonna bring a TV one up. And we can both do this.
Okay.
So, me and Jack, we're big like NBA fans, Michael Jordan fans.
Yeah.
Jack said you need to watch The Last Dance, Netflix. It's about the Bulls, the 90s Bulls, all that.
Yeah.
I've got one episode to go, massively enjoying it. But I feel like the Bulls franchise is quite underrated because you see a lot of the Lakers and all the other. I also feel.
Yeah, go on.
Sorry.
Go on. No, go on.
Jordan as a player, obviously, or as a person, people love him across the world. Yeah. But I think like over here, I still think he's underrated. Like as a person, So I wanted to ask you, what do you think about the Bulls franchise? And
I definitely think it's underrated. But the only thing I'd say is I think people would disagree with us as a whole to say that not the Bulls franchise, but Michael Jordan himself, they would probably say that he's overrated because of who he is and what he's done. But I think he's only been made overrated now because of his shoe franchise with Nike, Air Jordans. That has made him be overrated because those shoes are like next to like stupid money now to buy. Like when those Chicago ones that we were talking about earlier, like the original Chicago ones that he stepped foot on in, I think it was 97 or 98 on the court. He made those shoes with Nike. They were like high top with like red and black with a white sole.
Red, white and black. Yeah.
They when they first came out, they were like, I don't know, like $90, $100.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, but you cannot find those shoes anywhere now. And if you do, they're literally going for like anywhere from $1,000 to $4,000 a pair. You know how stupid that is? That's like.
But doesn't that make him underrated? But he could put his name on a shoe.
Yeah, but I feel like that's because it's a shoe. That's because they're associating it with it's Michael Jordan, but it's Nike.
Exactly.
It's Nike. So it's like the overrated side of it is the Nike side of it, but not the actual fact that it's his shoe. I don't believe.
No, I think that it's an MJ shoe. One person
Yeah.
makes him underrated.
But there's
One
so many
person.
difference now. There's so many different styles of that shoe now. There's so many different styles of Jordans now. You know, that's why it's that as a franchise in that terms, it's overrated. But as a player, I don't believe. I think people might disagree. I think some people would actually go, "Nah, he's too overrated." But I don't actually think until you watch The Last Dance, and if anyone's listening or hasn't watched this yet, you need to watch it because you won't understand otherwise what I'm talking about here. But you won't understand. You'll think he's overrated until you watch the show. When you watch the show, it will show you the side that you don't know about, and it will show you his journey to becoming one of the all-time star players of the NBA as a whole. You know, he's like the biggest legacy in the whole game. He has the biggest legacy in the whole game.
The best player.
And he always will have the biggest legacy and be the best player in the NBA in the world. There are some great players in there, but he is the player. He is the guy, you know. It's like they're saying now, like Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, they're like the new Jordans of this like century, of this time, you know. Even though Jordan's still here, I know, but it's still a case of like those two are like the new Jordans, you know.
I mean, isn't LeBron going to be doing Space Jam 2?
Yeah, apparently. Exactly. But that's I mean, I could go on for ages. Because that's one thing that frustrated me. Is like I'm a massive Space Jam fan, massive, like because I'm a big Jordan fan, and him in that because obviously he was in his pinnacle of his career. Like that was like literally he filmed that 4 years after joining the NBA.
Yeah, 93, wasn't it?
Yeah, something like that. Like he's pretty much in his rookie stages, pretty much, you know, because his rookie year is 90, 91. You know what I mean? And like it, you know, pretty much. I think actually no, was he a bit of a
86 rookie?
86 rookie. Yeah. Then that's like I think that was when he like really started hitting it off. It was around 90, 91.
Oh yeah.
And then around I think around 90, I think it was actually around 94. It might be a little bit later than that, actually, Space Jam. But he was still in his pinnacle, like still a pinnacle of his career. He was still that, like, you know, really young, really like, you know, up
for it.
In his game, basically, in his element, basically. But what I would have loved is I know he's like old now. I know he's quite old now and stuff like that. I know, but like I don't know, but like he's still really like, you know, he's still the Jordan, you know what I mean? He's still, you know,
looks good.
He's big, he's like got the physique and stuff, you know, he's tall, he's got the basketball hands, you know, you can't like I would have loved to have seen him come back for Space Jam 2.
Same.
I would have loved it to be like a case of like, if you've not watched Space Jam, then you need to watch it because you don't know what I'm talking about right now. And I'm probably going to give you spoilers now, but I don't care because you should have watched it by now. But anyway, like basically, like I had the idea that obviously he helped the Looney Tunes in it, like win that basketball game against the
Tune Squad.
The Tune Squad, which is, you know, like, you know, and win the basketball game against like other NBA players who got turned into monsters. But I feel like he needs to come back in the second one, and I feel like he needs to be who he is now, the older version of Michael Jordan, and like retired like he is, and the person he is, and who he is. And I feel like the Looney Tunes need to come and find him and be like, we've got a situation, we need you back again, and we need you to come back, and we need you to. And I don't know,
get in the gym and get lean.
You need to get back in the gym, or like you just need to come back and help us, you know, or like coach. Maybe they've got another basketball team against like a basketball game against someone, but rather than him playing the game, he coaches the Looney Tunes. You know, that would be like, you know, I just feel like it would have been so good to have him back in Space Jam 2. But don't get me wrong, I really rate LeBron James. I think LeBron James is a wicked player, like, you know, and obviously he took over the number 23 when he played for the Cavaliers. You know what I mean? Yeah. He took over number 23, which is Jordan's number, you know? And I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be like the new Jordan, like of it, you know? But yeah,
But-
I don't know, man.
but-
It disappointed me. I was really hoping that Space Jam 2 would be Michael Jordan again, but as he is now, it'd be so. Yeah, disappointing.
But I do think as a player, he is a one-off. He's like the Ali.
Yeah, he's definitely underrated. He's definitely like, I would definitely put him as like the kind of like, I don't know. I'd put him as like he's like
amazing
he's like a monk. He's like a monk. He's like monks are underrated for their abilities of what they can do. You know what I mean? And I believe that like he is the monk now of basketball. He is like the master. He's like he's a Jedi master. There you go. He is the Jedi. He is,
he is the man, isn't he?
he is Obi-Wan Kenobi. It's as simple as, you know what I mean? He knows everything about that game inside and out and what he's built to do. You know, I'd love to see him coach the Bulls. Now, I'd love to see him be the coach of the Chicago Bulls now, because I reckon he'd whip that team into.
He'd get so angry, wouldn't he? Imagine how angry he'd get.
Nah, not even that. I just reckon he'd make that team like exactly the spitting image winning team that he was on in the 97-98 season when they won their last championship.
Yeah.
I reckon he'd coach that team that they have now, because the Bulls, they're still a great team, but they're not been playing as well since that era of Bulls. It's like they were such a like honestly, from like you're seeing the Last Dance, they were a shite team. They were a crap team from Chicago.
This is what people got to understand. Before Jordan, they were terrible.
They were terrible.
After Jordan,
they were like
great.
bottom of the like table. They were, they weren't good. They didn't have good players. But as soon as Jordan came along, as soon as Scottie Pippen was there, as soon as like there was like
Rodman.
Rodman, there was John Paxson, all those players. As soon as they came, they made that team the fact that who the Chicago Bulls are today. They made them big, massive, and they are still there. Even the Bulls franchise, I suppose, is quite big, but it's still underrated because of you need to understand how it's gotten to that stage, Yeah, but I do believe like they're still going. The team that is now are going on the fact that of that time period. That they still 100%. Think they're good, but I don't think they're good as good as what they were when they were there. So I definitely think if he was to coach them, they'd whip them back into that form, because the way you see him in The Last Dance, right, being a player but coaching the rest of the team, even though he's not a coach,
he got the extra 10% out.
Yeah, exactly. He pushed them to their max. Imagine if he was the fucking coach. Man,
he'd have a heart attack.
Yeah, no, don't say that. I don't want him to die.
No, sorry, Michael.
I want him to stay alive, man. He's ledge. But yeah,
as a whole, underrated franchise and person.
If you'd asked me a question on the quick fire or anything like that, like just quickly before we ran it up, if you said to me, who's one person that you'd love to meet and like have dinner with or like get a McDonald's with, it would be Michael Jordan. Because I just think like there's so many people you could do that with. But like with him, I just feel like he's someone there's a lot, there's a lot more to him than what The Last Dance shows, I believe,
Very interesting.
And also, yeah, he's very interesting. I feel like you get a lot from learning from him. That's what I would say.
Yeah, agreed. That would have been a good answer.
Yeah, I would have said that.
But there you go.
Definitely. But there you go, guys. We blabbered on. We gave you our quick fire round. We gave you our overrated and underrated. We hope you enjoyed. We've got some really, really exciting stuff coming up. We've got a couple more groove sessions, and we're gonna have some more guests soon. We'll announce them shortly in a couple of episodes. But yeah, we've got a lot more to come. Stay tuned. Subscribe to our YouTube. We're on Spotify and we're on Anchor podcasts. Check us out. Give us a listen if you're bored or you want to listen to two guys just blabber on about Michael Jordan and everything like that. But yeah, it's keep the sharing, keep liking, keep showing us some love, and we're really enjoying making the content, and enjoying like sharing our our knowledge and our having a bit of fun, really. Do you know what I mean? Something to kind of like you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
Bit of escapism for everyone involved,
yes,
I think.
exactly, and to pass the time whilst we're all in this major crisis, as we say. But yeah, hopefully, you know, you never know. Maybe we can, rather than be in two separate rooms, maybe we can be in the same room one day doing a podcast.
Yeah.
You never know.
Or on a gig or
Yeah,
session or something.
exactly.
But anyway.
But anyway, thanks so much for tuning in. You obviously know I'm Jack, and that's Roman. And yeah, we'll catch you.
Been watching the
Yeah.
Groove Sessions show.
Da, 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 like that. Yeah, honestly, we will have like
Pleasure.
we're gonna have a theme tune eventually. I'm telling you now.
Yeah.
In the
This
development.
is only going to get better, isn't it, Jack?
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna get like high quality stuff. We're gonna have a theme tune. I'm telling you now, it's gonna be wicked. It's gonna be like the one you hear when you like run out in a basketball court, like
My God,
yeah, Groove Sessions. Like that. But yeah, catch you soon. Stay safe, stay well, and catch you in the next episode.
yeah, look
See you
after
later.
each other.
Peace out.
Bye bye.